The National Disabilities Insurance Scheme, known as the NDIS, has announced that it will expand its trial sites in Western Australia, meaning that more people will be able to access and receive ongoing support. This week I met with Ron Chalmers from the NDIS to find out how the scheme will affect Western Australians such as Chris and Sue Minutilo.
The National Disability Insurance Scheme is probably one of the most significant changes in how people with disabilities can get the support that they need to lead a good life within the community that we've seen in a generation.
How long has the scheme been operational?
The trial of the scheme nationally is now a few years in operation. People are experiencing a lot of positive outcomes from the individual plans that are being designed by them to meet their own particular needs.
Well, I suppose with the NDIS is recognised and they look at what's needed more so than when we did it so many years ago. Chris actually wasn't diagnosed until he was about 7 years old properly. So until then, all the therapy he needed, we had to basically do. So we'd be doing things like, I can remember working nights to help pay for therapy, and it wasn't cheap. It was just something that we had to do.
What have been some of the struggles along the way?
Back in the younger years, it was more a struggle to do things more so towards therapy. It was harder to get things like speech and occupational therapy and physiotherapy and things like that. So, we'd basically have to go and work to pay for therapy that was required.
Right across Australia, the disability service system was characterised by rationed funding. So different parts of the nation had different schemes in place, but funding was not at a level that it should have been. What the National Disability Insurance Scheme does is to provide a strong focus on what supports people need to lead good lives in their community, but it also provides certainty if in fact funding is needed there as well.
Every day that he goes out, he's learning new skills, be it life skills or independence. He could be learning money skills. The whole variety of things. He'll see friends, so he's learning, interaction between people, social.
Would any of this be possible without help from the NDIS?
It would be very difficult. Obviously, during the week, without the assistance, no, it wouldn't be possible because Christopher does need help. He needs somebody with him, and the 25 hours involves cost, so there's a component of funding given to you for that 25 hours, and that pays, either Rocky Bay or it pays the carers that take him to school. So without that, no, it would be virtually impossible because you're looking at the income of, a person.
Would you say the service is personalised to what Chris needs?
Yes, definitely. We sit down with our local area coordinators and we work out what we feel is the best plan for Chris, with Chris, of course. Chris is so much into his sport that we revolve it a lot around using the sport to teach him life skills and independence and anything else he really requires. And then we've got, other avenues that we go through, be it Chris is doing the Duke of Ed program at the moment, and he also does a component called ASDAN, and that's helping him to learn things like money skills and etc. So, we've worked in a whole plan with Chris, but we've used his sport to be able to assist him to achieve those goals, and we find that's the best way to do it with Chris.
You had an information session today. What were some of the concerns raised by the community?
Many of the questions that we're asked are around, will the supports that I'm receiving now be impacted negatively in any way? And we're pleased to say that the answer to that is no. The NDIS is an incredibly positive development, and it will bring a great deal of certainty for people in terms of making sure that they have the supports and access to services that they need so that they can get on and lead good lives in their community.
You want to keep playing soccer?
Keep playing soccer, yeah. Get some more goals and that's it.
And that's it?
Lucy Marchant for Undercurrent.